Have you ever thought of buying a franchise or currently own one or many? If so, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Franchise Euphoria, the podcast created and hosted by franchise attorney Josh Brown for the sole purpose of helping people find success through franchising.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Franchise Euphoria tip of the day. Josh Brown here. And before we get started, just want to let you know that for these tips and a bunch of other resources and ebooks and white papers and so forth, please take the opportunity and go to franciselaw.com, and you will find this episode along with all the other episodes under the Franchise Euphoria podcast. You can obviously find it as well in iTunes, but I was thinking about it, and I don't think I ever really mentioned that on these podcasts, and I probably should. But in any event, you learn as you go. But for today's tip of the day, I'm following up on the heels of last week's tip and focusing on, are you ready to franchise? Are you as a business ready to take that next step and turn your business into a franchise? Well, there's many things to consider before you ever do this, but I've boiled this down, I guess, into 4 questions that you should start to ask yourself if this is even something you're thinking about. I by no means want to try to convince you to franchise your business if it's not something you've thought about, but franchising, when done right, is such a phenomenal way to grow your business and to grow your brand. So, are you ready to franchise is the focus today. And the first question you want to ask yourself is, have you identified your sweet spot? In other words, have you identified what is most profitable about your business? Have you identified what is the core of your business? There's so many businesses that are operating and are successful, but they still don't have the core of what they do down. They still kind of dabble in other things. I truly believe if you're going to be a successful franchise, and if you're thinking about franchising your business, you really need to understand what your sweet spot is. What is it about your business that people really come to you for? And a good way to figure that out is look at the numbers, look at the financials, see everything that you're doing across your business, and identify what's the most profitable, what's making you the most money, and what's most profitable. Because even if it's making you a lot of money, but your margins aren't there, you need to take a look at that as well. And so you need to really, I believe, focus on that sweet spot. Number 2, have you trimmed the fat in your company? This really kind of ties into number 1, but it's a little bit of a dovetail, because when you look at your business and when you're considering multiplying it through the franchise model, through a licensing model, you really must trim the fat. You really must get your business as lean as possible. That not only makes good business sense, but that will put you in a better position to franchise or license your concept. Number 3, is everything documented? I can't tell you the number of entrepreneurs that I know that have systems, have processes, follow procedures, but it's all in their head, or it's in somebody else's head within their organization. Nothing has ever been documented, and if it was documented years ago and never been updated. This is one of the hardest things I find if you are considering becoming a franchise. If you believe you're ready to become a franchise, you really need to get everything out of your head and on to paper. I think one of the hardest things for people to do this, one of the reasons it's so difficult is because people think it has to be perfect, right? I mean, what you really want to do, and I mean, gosh, you can use any kind of technology now use an audio recorder and just start speaking out the processes and have it dictated, have it transcribed. I mean, there's so many tools out there that any way you're comfortable getting information out, it doesn't have to be you sitting down at your computer and typing everything out. I think that holds a lot of people back. Figure out the best and easiest way for you to communicate your systems, your processes, how your business is run in detail, and utilize whatever technology you need to get that into some sort of documented form. And then once you have the documented form, now you can look at it, and what you'll do is you'll find holes, you'll find things that you've forgotten, you'll find things that you need to go back and plug the holes, find more. I need to explain this more. I need to go into more detail on this, or I skipped this step. But the only way to do it is just to start getting everything that's in your head documented. Number 4, is your team in place? So often people want to expand and they think they'll just kind of wing it as they go, because for a lot of businesses, that's how they started. A lot of entrepreneurs wing things. And while a lot of them can become very, very successful, and to a certain extent, you have to kind of wing things because you don't truly know what you're getting into a lot of times until you actually get into it. You're not ready to franchise if you're just going to wing it. You really need to have your team in place. You need to have your core team for your business in place. And the people who you don't have in place, you need to have an idea of who's missing and who can plug the holes. But here's the real thing. You don't need to figure all that out yourself. I mean, you can go to professionals like me, who's a franchise advisor and attorney and professional who deals with this on a daily basis. There are countless other professionals, accountants, other business people who have done it before that you should turn to and who have done it right and successfully and can be a good model for you. And then figure out what they've done and do those same kinds of things. I mean, if you don't have your team in place, you just have no chance of setting up a franchise or franchising your business the right way. So these things may seem obvious, but I think for a lot of people, when they consider growth and when they consider, am I ready to franchise this business? I think there's a lot of things that run through people's heads. And then once they get online, that creates a whole nother animal because there's thousands of things online that'll get you going in all sorts of different directions. So hopefully if you can answer these 4 questions, this will sort of give you a good starting point. And in future tips of the day, I'm going to go into more detail on each one of these. But just to recap, have you identified your sweet spot? A great actual practical way to do it is start writing down what you do as a business and look at your financials, look at your numbers, and figure out what is the most profitable part of your business and focus on that. Have you trimmed the fat? Have you gotten rid of the things that are not profitable? Or even if they are profitable, they're not the most profitable. Number 3 is everything documented. Find a way to get your systems, your processes, your operations, your marketing plan, everything that's stuck up in your head out onto paper. And number 4 is your team in place. Nobody has ever run or started a successful franchise without a team in place. If you don't know what that team entails, you need to contact professionals who do, people in the franchising space, attorneys, accountants, other business owners who have turned their business into a franchise successfully. Having these people on board is huge. And even if you're not even sure what you're going to ask them, just reach out to them in a sincere way. And I'm fully confident that they will help you. So hopefully this has helped you if you're a business and you're at that point where you've had some success and you're thinking, wow, I want to grow and I'm considering a franchise or licensing model. For any questions on this, or if you want me to answer anything relating to the franchise space, feel free to email me at josh@franchiseeuphoria.com. And until the next episode, happy franchising.
Thanks for being with us today on the Franchise Euphoria podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go to iTunes and provide a review. Also, please remember that although Josh Brown is a licensed and practicing attorney, nothing contained in this podcast should be construed as legal advice, because it is not. The information contained in this podcast is general and educational in nature, and none of it should be relied upon as legal advice. That being said, if you have questions for Josh and would like to contact him, please email him at josh@franchiseeuphoria.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you tune in to our next weekly episode.